Start the recording. Okay, lovely. So thank you for coming. So we are going to walk you through a little bit this evening on women's health and hormones. So this is going to cover anything from teenage hormones all the way up to peri and menopause, and we can go into slightly more in depth as we go. So we are going to look at doTERRA. Apologize, these slides, I've borrowed them from somebody else. They do need a little bit of fixing on Canva, so this is kind of our first run through. We will get them sorted, but we're going to talk very little bit about doTERRA. I think most people, if you're seeing this, then you are aware of why doTERRA, and that is because our oils are the purest that you can buy. Why is that? And that is because our oils are the only oils that are tested. So any oil on the market can say 100% on it. It doesn't mean that there's 100% in there. There's just no governing body stopping them from saying so. Quite regularly, they're full of actually synthetics or fillers, or they have actually been made in a lab. So they are actually a fragrance. You'll see a lot of oils actually say fragrance oil on them instead. No, thank you. Sorry, child's in the room. So just so that you're aware of the difference. So when our oils are tested, doTERRA do show you all of that testing by popping the batch number into source to you, and they will show you everything that our oils go under. And the fantastic thing about doTERRA is obviously our sourcing, and that is extremely ethical. But we at doTERRA actually go out and find the purest that they can find. And then that's where the sourcing happens. So we don't just grow any fruit or vegetable in any specific country and harvest it. We go out and we find the best of the best. And they put a lot of money, both sides of the bottle. So money into supporting charities, but also money into the farmers and people like that as well. If you want to know more about our sourcing program, again, you can do that on pop onto search doTERRA sourcing, and there is lots and lots of sourcing videos. And if you're really lucky, you can win a sourcing trip with doTERRA. I've got one hopefully this year sometime. I've won a sourcing trip, so we'll be able to actually go straight out to where it's happening and see it firsthand, and that's why they're so fantastic with it. Okay, so let's get a little bit into our hormones. So women's hormones and our cycles, obviously we have our years of going up and down as we go, and then as we enter those later years and hitting perimenopause and menopause, obviously our hormones do change quite dramatically. We want to think about our hormone balances. Our own body is able to do what we need it to do from inside. Our bodies are extremely clever. They know exactly what we need to do. The problem is with hormones and a lot of other illnesses that our bodies do come across is our cells and our receptor sites. So what happens is our body is meant to have, it has a cell and it has a certain shape receptor site. And our hormones, so our estrogen, will go into that very specific receptor site on the cell. Problem is we have other things that get into our body that mimic the same shape as those estrogen, for example. So the wrong thing or the toxin gets into the receptor site. And once it gets into the receptor site, it doesn't let go. It stays in there, and it can take quite a while before it will even leave, which then leaves the healthy part that our body needs floating around and unable to get into the receptor site. So we do want to start thinking about how that works as we go forward. Some of the signs of hormonal imbalances are on the screen. I'm not going to read every single one out, so do have a look and maybe think in your head, yes, that is something that I'm struggling with. Make a mental note, and it is something that we can talk on a one-to-one, or we can talk in a group chat afterwards, so you don't have to talk during the class. But these are just some of those signs of a hormone imbalance. It's also good to know that I suffer quite a lot with some of these things on there that then get labeled, for example, depression, anxiety, that actually can be helped with sorting out a hormone balance. So it's really interesting to know that actually, obviously, a lot of different signs mimic different things, but there is ways that we can do something about them. Oop. Go on to here. Okay, so what exactly is happening and what can we do about it? So we've just mentioned about the receptor cells. So there are 3 types of estrogen. there are estrogens, there is xenoestrogens, and there are phytoestrogens. So xeno means fate. Okay, so our body, so when we're talking about those receptor cells and the wrong thing getting in, what our body does is it actually gets xenoestrogen into that receptor cell. And it's then not able to use things like your good estrogen for your cells. When we get too much of these xenoestrogens in our body, obviously the good hormones are now out of balance, and that is what is then causing some of the things below. So we get some quite nasty side effects from them. Some of the places we get xenoestrogens from are general things that you are finding around your house, things that we're finding in supermarkets. I'm a medical professional, and one of the worst places is medical equipment gives off these xenoestrogens. You can get them from till receipts. You can get them from, obviously, nobody can ever be free of them because we have them in pollution, in pesticides, we have it in medications. But there is obviously a lot of chemicals, particularly cleaning chemicals, where these xenoestrogens are found. So if you are cleaning your houses or cleaning yourselves excessively, particularly with a lot of these brands that you can buy on the market, yes, your house might be clean and you might have antibacterial and there's no bacteria in your house, but you are putting your health at extreme risk because of the level of xenoestrogens. On average, us women, men as well, but us women put about 168 chemicals on our bodies every single day. So that comes from anything from makeup to deodorant. I mean, we really want to think about deodorants because we're putting things directly into where our armpits are, where our lymph nodes are. What you're putting in your hair is going directly onto your scalp, which is then going into, where your brain is. We really want to actually think about these different things. And a lot of these different things can upset your hormones. So it's just about being a little bit more proactive, maybe swap where you're shopping, looking for natural makeup, or obviously doTERRA do lots of natural products, or you can look other places for your natural products. Try to avoid as many as we can, and that's going to help to balance your hormones. On top of obviously the extra stuff we're going to do oil wise, but something you can proactively be looking at home. I know one of my girls recently has even been making homemade mascara. There's all sorts of things that you can do. You can make your own detergents, you can make your own household cleaners. There is so many ways that you can remove these toxins from your body without really having to go to too much work. So as we said, swap them out for natural options. doTERRA do a whole skincare range if it's something that you're interested in. And I have friends that do things like Tropic and other ones. If you're interested in natural makeup, we can put you in touch with other people that can help you in those ones as well. Okay, so we've kind of just covered a lot of this about the hormones. As you can see how our hormones go crazy. So we have our premenopause. So you've got that monthly hormonal chart. When we hit perimenopause, everything goes a little bit crazy. And then post-menopause, obviously things seem to settle down. We do want to think about what we are putting in our body, and it is important to think about when we are mentioned from the GPs and things going on different treatments. I highly recommend going to do your research first before just taking a medicine. There is a lot of side effects from a lot of these medicines. You will see in here, you can go on the MHRA website and it will bring up on here, but this is for 1 in 10 women. I believe on this one here particularly it says 1 in 10 women will go on to get breast cancer from taking HRT. If we don't need to be taking substances that are going to be harmful to us, and this is over a 5-year, as you can see, sorry, I've got my share screen, estimates an extra cases of breast cancer for 5 years, HRT starting around the time of menopause. So yeah, do your research. Do go out there and look for your medical journals and find out the information for yourselves before going on certain drug therapies. So while we're talking about drugs, this is where we now talk about lifelong vitality. So lifelong vitality is our golden standard foundation in doTERRA. So lifelong vitality consists of 3 different areas. It consists of all of your omegas and your fatty acids. It consists of all of your nutrients and all of your supplements that way, but it also contains all of your cellular functions as well. A full dose of lifelong vitality is 4 tablets of each of these per day. So I do 2 in the morning, and if I do take a full dose, it's 2 in the afternoon. But most people are actually okay on half dose. I do have a graphic. I didn't get time to pop it into here. I will pop it in if anybody wants it, to show you the amount of food that you would have to eat to be able to get the same level of nutrients that we have in lifelong vitality. What's important to know is many of supplements on the market actually have a very low bioavailability. And what that means is how the body uses that supplement. So many of them actually can't be used through the body, and your body's not processing most of that nutrient, and it's basically a very expensive wee, and you're not actually getting anything from them. Where again, the science behind the lifelong vitality has been proven. There is documents out there for you as well to prove the bioavailability of our oils, which means what you are taking is and how it is actually being used by the body. So I'm not going to go really in depth because this is one that we can cover in a whole class. But there is ebooks and there are videos on lifelong vitality. If you would like them, just pop me a message. So we want to think about how are we going to support these symptoms that we're getting. So there's just some examples on the screen of some oils that we can use for different areas. So hot flushes symptoms, particularly peppermint is amazing, or any of the mints. So you can pop that. I pop it straight on my hands and it literally goes around my neck. I did an event recently where someone was having a really bad hot flush at this event, and we were like, right, take your jacket off, let's just get some peppermint oil. And she did come back to me and say, I can't believe how cool I'd feel all of a sudden. You can make that into a spray, so you can spray your body. Citrus oils are also really good for that, and our Clary Calm, which we'll cover shortly. Fatigue symptoms, lifelong vitality is always going to be that foundation. And then we have Mytota Max, which is works on the mitochondria in the body. Again, peppermint, ginger. And then there's other ones on there for like low libido and mood swing symptoms. So there is so much we can do. Like I say, feel free, you can take a picture of those. So while we're talking about supporting hormone balancing, we want to look at some of the ways that we can do that. So the first way is phytoestrogens. So what phytoestrogens are is they are not estrogen. Okay, so they're not coming into your body to replace the estrogen. That's not the point of phytoestrogens. What the point of phytoestrogens are is I kind of liken it to like Pac-Man. So Pac-Man comes in, and what phytoestrogens do is they remove the xenoestrogens from the body. So that then allows the space for the estrogen to go back into its receptor. So what the phytos do is they come in and they eat up all the bad stuff to help you be able to use what your body is naturally good at. It's important to know that obviously the more your body has to fight off, so the more toxins we have, the longer and the harder it is for your body to process this, and more work you're doing on your liver, the more work you're doing on your kidneys. So that's why we want to remove as much as we can first, but the phytos are going to come in and they're really going to help you. You can take 1 a day, you can take 2 a day. I used to just take them around my period time thinking, well, it's helping my hormones then, but what I've actually realized is I need to take them every day. So now I take 1 a day up until those premenstrual, and then I start taking 2 just to give myself that foundation. So then we also have Clary Calm. So Clary Calm is this roller here. This is a completely pure roller. So this one is, if it's too strong, you can pop it into 2 or 3 rollers. It's always good to do. This has oils in there like clary sage. It has ylang ylang, a geranium in there. It's got lavender in there. It's absolutely amazing on female cramps. So you can pop it onto the stomach. I like to pop it around my stomach and on my chest anytime, but the oils in there, I'm just going to admit Sarah. So the oils in there are really good for helping to calm the hormones and just helping pick up our emotions And also, as you can see, I'm just going to move that out of the way. It's also really, really good for any of those other menopause symptoms or premenstrual, symptoms. The bone nutrients, again, as women get older, we do need to be thinking about our bone density and our bone nutrients. And this is the fantastic thing, is the doTERRA have thought about this, and you can buy all three. And actually, when you buy it as a set, you basically get bone nutrients for free. So we all need to be looking at nutrients as well in there. And then there's lots of other ways that we can have oils as well for sleeping and cleansing, because like I say, when we're trying to get rid of this level of toxins in our body, we do need to support our liver and our kidneys, and thinking about doing a 30-day cleanse once a year, and also focusing on putting things like Zendocrine over our liver to help support our liver in all of its hard work that it's doing. Oh, sorry, just gonna be on that. So I've mentioned Claricalm. Again, it's an absolutely fantastic one. If anybody comes into my additional needs classes, it's a fantastic one for females on the spectrum, because it actually has such powerhouse oils in there. It works really well on emotions and just bringing harmony into the body. So these are the oils that we have in Claricalm. Just move that out of the way. So, and again, you're welcome to take a photo of that. I don't know if my bits are in the way. I'll just move this just in case. You're welcome to take a photo, but it has such powerhouse oils in there, all working together. And like I say, this is a completely neat roller. So you don't need, you don't need the carrier oil in there. Okay, so these are just some of your exclusive kits and ways that you can get some of those bits if you are on like your loyalty reward system. Don't know what else we've got on here specifically. Oh, no, I think that's it. So that is a quick whistle stop tour of some of the products. And then what I'm going to do is we'll take some questions and we will delve a little bit deeper into some symptoms. So I'm going to end the recording there for the general information, and then we can come back and have a chat about specific ones.